Welcome back. I guess you're watching Breakfast Extra for a Sunday edition here. My name is Mazino Appeal with Queen Celestine. Now, in our second big report today, we turn to Edo State, where a major security operation has resulted in the arrest of 31 people suspected of cultism. The raids follow a violent clash between rival cult groups in Uromi, leaving one person hospitalized and raising fresh questions about the persistence of cult violence in Nigeria. Now, the operation, codenamed Out Kidnapping and Cultism, was led by Edo's Special Security Squad with support from the police, vigilantes, and even the Nigerian Army. Now, authorities say they recovered battle axes, charms, cult insignia, and other dangerous material.
And of course, to help us unpack this situation and what it means for security, youth crime, and public trust, we have our guest, Kienuwa Obaseki. He's a public affairs analyst. But first, here is a field report from our correspondent, Amenze Bazuaye, who was in Uromi. Let's have a look.
A joint force of police officers, local vigilantes, and soldiers swept through streets and compounds in a targeted operation. Their mission: to track down individuals linked to a deadly confrontation between rival cult groups days earlier. By the end of the raid, 31 suspects were in custody. Security sources say the clash on 13th November left one victim critically injured and heightened tensions in communities already grappling with rising cult-related violence. Acting on fresh intelligence, the Special Security Squad moved before dawn, storming several hideouts across Uromi. Items recovered include battle axes, cult insignia, charms, drugs, and what operatives described as materials used in previous attacks. Squad coordinator Noah explained that the confrontation that triggered the raid stemmed from a dispute over a fraudulent financial transaction, a conflict that escalated into open violence.
Stay away from crime. Edo is no longer a safe place for any criminal activity. If you know that you cannot live peacefully with us here, I've advised before, please kindly leave us in peace. Because at the end of the day, we would apprehend you. The CSO to the governor and the principal security officer, they are hell-bent, working in conjunction with the governor, because they have said no to crime.
Authorities say the suspects have been transferred to the police area command in Uromi for profiling and interrogation. But perhaps most troubling for officials was the discovery of underage individuals involved in the criminal activities. The squad warns that parents may now face legal consequences if minors in their care continue to engage in cultism or organized crime. One suspect denied any links to a cult group, despite the recovery of a battle axe from his apartment, admitting only to involvement in internet fraud.
I'm not a cultist. I just do Yahoo. I have not did this for that. I think about two.
Since I started this business is this year. I have not collected anyone. I have not defrauded anyone. We just live together here.
Meanwhile, the state government has issued a 7-day ultimatum to fleeing suspects to surrender or face intensified security action. A show of force later followed across parts of Edo Central, signaling the administration's determination to clamp down on cultism and rising youth crime. In Edo, for News Central, Amenze Bazuaye.
Well, as we all saw it, that was the video from our correspondent, Amenze Bazuaye. But then we have Mr. Obaseki joining us all the way from Detroit to talk about, this cultism in Edo State. Good morning, sir. We see that, the cultism in Edo is not new at all, but why does it persist, especially in Uromi? It feels like it's a failure of law enforcement or local government or something more systematic. What's your take on it?
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having me. I just returned from Nigeria, I think a week ago. We held this annual football program for the youth. You see, the youth, they've been neglected. It was an emotional period for me because you can see you can see everything in the youth faces that they have been neglected, they've not been engaged. When I was going to school, we had all different kinds of sport programs. We were all engaged. And that is no longer there now. The kids, they can do whatever they want. And it's been the failure of the government, not necessarily the state government, the whole system in general.
Well, sir, would like to know how this crackdown affects public perception of insecurity in Edo State. Like we mentioned before, it's not the first time. We've had some of these crackdown many times. If I'm not mistaken, the state PRO often comes out to tell and give certain visuals about what's happening there. So do you think it will resort or restore confidence in the government of Edo State by the citizens or from the citizens?
Well, these are just the symptoms. It's not abating anytime soon because, like I said, the whole system is broken, and you must fix the system in order for you to be able to capture the youth. It's been years of neglect, and I don't think this is unique to Uromi. It can happen in Benin or Auchi or Aganibode, you know. The problem of cultism is not unique to Nigeria. There are cultism in the US. You see, the system kind of engages you. Looking at all the people arrested, these are kids in their early 20s.
Mr. Obaseki, is there a traditional element to the cultism in Edo State? I think maybe we should address that. We know that it's a state that is well steeped in traditional ways of doing things. Could this also be a factor? Is it a good thing or a bad thing that
it could be?
Okay.
Yes, it could be, but you can't stop cultism completely. You have to engage them and be one step ahead. That is what is being done even in advanced countries. The same thing. When we were growing up, there were some gangs here and gangs there, but they never deteriorated to this level that we are seeing. That's what I'm saying. That if the system is broken, you have to fix the system and start arresting the youth at their early stage. As I told you, we just finished this soccer program at Ogbebor Stadium and UBTH. You know, I saw the yearning in the faces of the kids because it's like we came to their rescue. We came to their rescue. Imagine for those few kids, there are still a lot more out there, and once they are not engaged. When they get to the age of those suspects you just arrested, then they find something for themselves, and you saw them with guns, matches, and everything. And if you do not pay early, you will pay later. That's what we are saying.
Right.
And it's not going to abate anytime soon.
Okay, so Mr. Obaseki, you've said not once, not twice about engaging them. Now, if we're talking about youth unemployment or youth in general, we realize that this is a lot of people not so interested in either politics or governance and all. Everybody's looking for, according to them, allegedly looking for fast money and everything. So when you say engage, what do you think the government needs to do, and how do you think they can rehabilitate these young people that have been allegedly
every moment of our life was engaged. So, but now you have these kids. There's nothing, basically nothing, and you do not engage the kids, and by the time they are that age, they start committing crime. Then you want to arrest. It's too late.
Well, you said that this was a symptom of what exactly? If it's a symptom, then it's not the fault of the what? It's not a fault of the kids or the youth. There must be something else. And if unemployment could be brought in here as one of those factors, do you think that the state has more to do when it comes to getting jobs for these young people? You talked about engaging them into house sports and all of this, but at the end of the day, it doesn't make them any money. So what about putting money in their pocket by providing jobs? Where has the state failed in that? Or I should ask, has the state failed in that aspect?
Well, at this junction, what the state should be doing is to start enacting programs that is going to engage them, preach to them, address them, make them understand that they own the future. They own the future. Say, for example, like a national youth program? And is it NYSC?
Yeah, NYSC, yes.
National, exactly. Okay, for example, if you can, I even discussed this with Ogbebor. He said he actually applied it during the, although that was a military era. All this, they can construct, they can repair roads. You can buy them tractors, engage them, try to make them feel ownership of Edo or Nigeria as a whole. But if you are not engaging them, then this is what you see. This is what you see. And if you teach them work programs, how to repair the roads, and things that will improve the society.
Right.
They do that here in the U.S. Yeah, they do that here in the U.S. They engage them. But I don't see such programs in Nigeria or Edo State, per se.
Right. So, Mr. Obaseki, my final question for you is, what would be your advice to the youth in Edo State? I'm sure that, most of them will be watching. What would you say to them as to how to figure out their life without going south? How do they have hope? How do they keep pushing through when, they complain about unemployment, infrastructure, basic need? It's a struggle. Like you said, back then you had inter-house sport, you had things. The things you had a few years ago are not available now. We just have internet where, they can go into the internet and see their mates, prospering and, flashy lifestyle. And that might be one of the reasons that, they want to get there fast. So what would be your advice to the youth in Edo State to say, see, there's greater good in doing good and, not going south and being a cultist? So what would you say to them?
Well, all you can do is to preach to them, but then again, you have to have programs, you have to have something that they can hold on to. If you don't, then it's too late. It's too late. As I said, you see so many roads in Benin, they are all bad. Work program. Kids, I believe they will grab onto this work program. If you are paying them, say, 100,000 naira per month, just construct the roads instead of awarding billions and billions of naira contract to politicians, and then you will, at least you have something you can, something substantial you can hold on to. That is the work program. Or to go and build markets in the rural areas. Okay. These were some of my recommendations. And Ogbebor of blessed memory, adopted them. When we held a summit, Boston summit, he came. Those kind of a program, you have to reintroduce them. If you don't, this is going to deteriorate. Next year will be worse than this year. The other year is going to be worse than the other year too. And then let me touch a little bit on this insecurity in the country too. You see, Nigeria made the mistake 1979. I wish Chief Enauro was here alive to push the program that I myself am trying to push now. That is to have a good system, because Nigeria system is a Soviet Politburo style government. Period. It has nothing to do with the U.S. system kind of government, because where everything is coming from the federal. I was listening to the governor of Zamfara. Zamfara governor said they know all the bandits, they know all the terrorists, they know them, they live with them. But then the reporter asked him, why are you not taking care of the bandits? He said, no, he doesn't have the tool. Everything has to come from Abuja. That is the Soviet Politburo style system that I'm talking about. Here in the U.S., there are state guards. They take care of their state. That's all. Why don't you provide the same system? Instead of calling it U.S. style federal system, just call it a Soviet Politburo communist style government. That is what Nigeria is practicing. That is what we all agree. You know, when we developed this program, Chief Enauro was sitting right where I'm sitting now. Professor Moyi was sitting here. They should have been pushing this kind of program. Nigeria is going nowhere yet. I was expecting President Kienuwa to also push this program because he was a part of this program. But now he's just the president. He's sitting down, and it's like a continuation of what was wrong with Nigeria. And so, like, if you ask me, am I hopeful? No, I'm not. Until you make the necessary changes. If you continue to stick with the structure you have, you continue to get what you have.
Right. Well, Mr. Obaseki, thank you so much for joining us. We don't want to disturb you, but thank you for joining us and, giving us your insight on how, the youth in Edo State can do better and not be a cultist. We appreciate you, and happy International Men's Day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.